What's up, everybody? Finn Hade here, One and Done Sports.
It's me?
Yeah.
Rahul Lal, reporting from Finn's backyard.
Yes, we are back at the videos, so gonna be fun. It's just like old times. We're outside.
Yep.
So let's do it.
Yep.
We're gonna be talking draft today, so we'll get into it. Okay, so draft. We all know there's always some sleepers.
Yeah.
In the late first round, early second, even late second. So we're going to go through a couple of those and who our sleeper picks will be. We've got quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know? So
we got a long list.
Let's start with the guys that have impressed at the combine so far.
Yeah.
There are 3-4 names we can throw out there. Let's start with Ben Bentel. I know we both been on the Ben Bentel train. So tell me a little bit about Ben Bentel. Why is he a sleeper pick?
Yeah, well, I mean, Ben Bentel is one of those guys who really emerged this year as a college player because just last year he only averaged 6 points a game. This season he busted into all the headlines, averaging 21 points a game, over 21 points a game, including I think 5 30-plus point performances.
Oh, and the 30 and the 42 point
and the 42 point performance. And you saw it. He played big in big games.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? We love his motor. We love his size. He's got power forward size with small forward abilities. And in today's NBA, it's huge to be able to shoot the three when you do have that size.
He can definitely stretch the floor.
Oh yeah.
He can get hot from three.
Oh yeah. I mean. And we've been wondering this whole time, why is he going so late? Why is he going so late? Well, now that he's in the combine and people are getting a chance to see him, his stock is rising.
Oh yeah.
He's a definite sleeper for me.
And he's only what 20?
Yeah,
21?
20, 21. So yeah.
It's like so I don't know what the knock is on him, why he's always in the second round on these mock drafts, but Ben Bentel, I just love He's okay on defense, that's where he needs to upgrade.
Yeah.
But his offensive abilities, he could...
Not to mention he averaged 8 boards a game.
Yeah, he could literally play small forward, too.
Yeah.
He's a 6'8", 6'9" guy.
Yeah.
Who is just the great stretch forward you want.
He's coming to the NBA at the perfect time.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? His style of play is perfect for this NBA.
One guy who probably helped himself the most out of the draft combine.
Yeah.
Out of all these guys, Shaq Diallo.
Yeah.
Barely played at Kansas,
Part of that recruiting scandal, or academic scandal or something, some scandal.
So he barely plays. When he did, people got hyped. He had his little dunk.
Yeah.
I
mean, that was awesome.
So the first thing I see when I think of Shaq Diallo is in his combine performance, his ability to run the floor.
Yeah.
He's probably the most mobile big man of this group.
Easily.
Even though he's only 6'9", he's long.
He's a long man.
And just his rebounding ability. And he showed some flashes of some offensive potential in the combine, which I think...
I think that it's actually more than potential right now. I think that he's one of the more skilled offensive big men in this draft, if not the, And I'm really excited for a guy like him because you don't see those measurements combined with that athleticism and speed.
He has a very high motor.
Very high motor, and we've seen that. You know what I mean? And I think that, and he's exactly that kind of a sleeper pick that could wind up, going, 20, 18, somewhere around there, and wind up playing like he's a number 5 pick. Yeah. You know what I mean? He certainly has potential to be that.
And every team wants to go up and down, run, and with a big guy like that.
And today's today's positionless NBA where you have guys who have power forward size playing small ball. Exactly. You have small ball running it these days, and if you can have a guy who's that long, who's that athletic, who can beat point guards down the floor.
Later in the first round, there's no
decision
making.
Yeah.
Just, that's a risk.
You take it's a calculated risk.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
All right, so another guy that helped himself a little bit, and this is the mystery man of the draft, Thon Maker.
Yeah.
Okay. No one thought he would probably even be in this draft, but he is.
Yeah. So, somehow he's eligible, and I'm glad because I want to see him play, man.
He's like the question mark. Wherever he goes, it's going to
dictate a lot of the draft.
So Thon Maker.
Yeah.
We know of him. He's a 7'1" mobile big man
yeah.
who apparently can stretch the floor. So what do you see from him?
I mean, Thon really is that question mark. But, I mean, I'm sure that you remember. I think you were probably the one who sent it to me like 2-3 years ago. His highlight tape. And you're like, look at this 7-foot
Australian guy.
Yeah, who's who's crossing people over and taking the ball, taking 3-pointers, taking the ball from the perimeter and cutting into the basket for a dunk. I mean, I think that's exactly what you get, is you get another positionless guy. He may not be as athletic as a Shaq Diallo, but, man, is he polished. You know what I mean? And you don't see that with guys who are literally coming out of high school. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't see a guy who's that polished and, sure, he may be a little bit of a project right away because he is so young, but isn't that what people draft for these days, is drafting a guy who's young for his potential? And this guy has superstar potential. He's raw, he's athletic, but he's still polished at the very same time, and that's the scary part.
And I think that a lot of people are knocking him for his he needs to get bigger, which he does, and they think he's a stick and all this. But I mean, people thought that about
Porzingis, exactly,
and it could be
that's the exact thing that I have in my mind. Is Porzingis was kind of the mystery man last year. People were really split on him. It was either you hate him or you love him.
Yeah,
and one of the biggest knocks on him
was.
Yeah, we saw how big he was. We knew the size. We saw the 7-foot whatever.
And I don't see him. I don't see Thon Maker being
if you saw him at the combine, you saw that Thon Maker actually had he took measurements and he had some muscle on him, and you could tell he's been working out. Honestly, if adding strength is somebody's biggest knock,
you can easily do it.
I'm not worried about that. You put him on an NBA training program.
Even guys like Karl Anthony Towns still need to add strength. Everyone's going to need to add strength.
10 seconds, those guys will be able to add that strength.
All right, so let's get to a deep guy. I want to go to a deep.
All right, deep sleeper.
Gary Payton II.
Love him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some say might not even be drafted. He's deep in the second round. So
I would love for my Lakers to grab him at 32.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do we see with his potential?
I mean, you talk about a guy who's truly athletic. We're looking at
my Lord,
we're talking about Russell Westbrook in a mini Sprite bottle.
Dude, he's
what I mean?
The most athletic guy in this draft for his size.
It's as if you have, a soda can and you shake it up and then out comes Gary Payne Jr.
It's some of his dunks are unbelievable.
I mean,
but it doesn't just it keeps going. You've got his defense.
Yeah, I mean, his defense is all Pac-12 first team, all NCAA second team, if I remember right. Averaged 2.5 steals a game. He's really living up to his dad's nickname, the Glove.
Oh, no, but he can guard, shooting guard, point guard. He's got good size.
Talk about his size, yeah. He's 6'3", 6'4", over, around 200 pounds, something
I think he's an underrated passer.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
he's got 6'8", 6'9" wingspan also.
And if his athleticism blows you away. He's 23 years old, but...
I mean, but also when you think about these, you and I particularly do like these older guys a lot more than most people do because, they're proven. They're ready. They're more NBA ready. And I kind of relate a guy like Gary Payton to Jerry and Grant coming out of college last year. Kind of that same bully ball kind of player, a lot of heart, good defensive player. Only difference is that Gary Payne Jr. averaged 8 boards a game. Only difference is that Gary Payne Jr. has off-the-charts athleticism.
Gary Payton is the best rebounding guard in the draft.
Yeah,
easily.
Definitely.
And he's the type of guy I think you said it to me before we even started filming this. He's the type of dude you would feel comfortable running your second unit. Or
exactly.
Even if your starter goes down, he's the type of guy.
You don't see that big of a knot. I mean, you think about some of those point guards out there, when, Kemba goes out and DJ Augustine comes in. You know that DJ Augustine's going to give you a solid 14 and 5 every time he starts. You know what I mean? He's going to run the offense. And I kind of relate it to something like that. And honestly, I see a little bit of Kemba in a Gary Payne, just as some athleticism. You know what I mean?
I think whoever gets him is going to be lucky in the second round.
Yeah.
Because they're all going to knock him on his age. He's going to drop, and it's going to be whatever. So let's go to the best fro in the draft.
DeAndre,
Bembry.
Yep.
Okay. I love him. You.
So-so.
So-so him.
So-so.
But his combine.
But his combine was great.
Better.
I mean, you talk about, and he's one of those guys from a small school, St. Joe's, not St. John's, St. Joe's, and he seems like he's just gonna be one of those rotation glue guys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He seems like he's ready made.
Defense, shooting, passing ability are his three.
Exactly. I mean, he kind of reminds me almost of a Solomon Hill kind of player.
Except his passing ability is very good.
His passing ability is
for his
great.
Position.
And you saw that on display. This season he averaged 17, 7, and about 5, or 17, 6, and 5.
Yeah.
So, and he played most of the game, but those are great stats for a team.
Assists for that position. Especially in college where you're like trying to be the guy.
Exactly. He has great size. 6'6", 280 almost.
Who doesn't want the fro on your team? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Who doesn't want that fro?
Exactly.
No. But I think what he did was he solidified himself in that 18 to at least like 25 range. Like, I think he showed that he's worthy of going there.
I mean, I think he's kind of ready made for a team that's already in the playoffs that just needs that backup small forward.
He didn't push himself. There's no way he's going to push himself into like the lottery.
No,
but he didn't. He made a case for him to not fall into the second round.
Fall. Yeah,
and he kept himself right there as like that role player
where he should be.
Yeah.
Where he should be.
And I think
he'll be a solid rotation player.
And then we've got two more. Yep. Bryce Johnson. I mean, one more kid, like he just shows what he's got on the court.
Yeah, I mean that's what you see all the
hustle.
You see everything. You see the shot blocking ability and
rebounding, dude.
Think about for anybody who watched March Madness, who was the North Carolina player that stayed on your mind? It was Bryce.
And honestly, like in the final game, they weren't giving him the ball. He was screaming for it, and he was getting irritated. And they were not having good offensive possessions.
That's what you want to see because Bryce Johnson is typically labeled as more of a defensive guy, and so if you see a guy who's trying to get aggressive on offense when he's labeled as a defensive guy,
his post game,
that's huge.
65% from 2.
Yeah,
didn't attempt 3-pointers, but I mean his post game is he can extend it, like he needs to extend it out to mid range like jump shots and be able to knock those down. But his post moves are good. His rebounding is just phenomenal. He's one of the rare guys that's averaging 10 boards a game.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
I mean, and at that, he averaged 17 and 10 in 28 minutes.
Like which is
impressive. That's incredible, honestly.
So if you just we keep talking about today's NBA.
Yeah.
The athletic floor runner who can just give you what
I mean, he really reminds me.
DeAndre Jordan isn't like a star player, and he can't play offense. What does he do? He catches lobs and he rebounds the ball. What does Bryce Johnson do? That, and he's able to run the floor.
I mean, honestly, you know who he reminds me a lot of is former North Carolina player John Henson.
Yeah.
He's long. He's got great athleticism, great instinct for the ball. Except he adds a little bit more on the offensive end.
And we love this. We keep saying it, but he's a senior. He's going to come in and he's going to be ready.
Exactly.
Like if you want to put him in your bench, he'll be ready.
I mean, and I know that we were talking about your favorite team, the Pacers, for example, sitting there at 20. That's a team who can grab him and who can use him right away, alongside a guy like Miles Turner. You know what I mean? Like having athletic bigs who can run the floor, block shots, and rebound.
Give you second possessions. That's huge.
I mean, that's positionless basketball, and that's the way the NBA is now, and that's. It's great to see those guys doing that. And he still has the
back to the basket moves, which you can play inside out. So
exactly,
he's a great player. I don't see him as like an all-star caliber guy, but he's that guy that's ready right away.
Exactly,
any team would want that type.
Exactly.
Of dude. So our last guy, probably one of the guys that no one really knows about.
Really a sleeper.
France.
Yeah.
Product of France, Isaiah Cordier.
Yeah.
Put the little accent on
use your French. Use
your
French.
So,
Cordier.
I showed you his tape a little bit.
Yeah.
All they have is 1 5-minute clip of him
Basically,
on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's all out of focus.
Yeah.
First thoughts. What came into your brain?
Athletic.
Okay.
Solid player.
It's exactly like athleticism.
I mean, his athleticism is off the charts.
He's a shooting guard. Guard. He's a smaller, thinner dude, but to me, I see like a Zach LaVine type guy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He has a solid shot. It's reliable.
He gets very high on his release, which I love.
Which is great because being a smaller player, being a thinner player, you're going to have players who are right up in your face. And so it's really important to be able to have that high release. And he really gets up on his shot, which is great.
And he's 6'5", so he's really getting up on his shot.
Yeah.
You know?
And also you talk about a 6'5". A few years ago, 6'5" would have been small for a shooting guard back in, Kobe, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady. But that's not the NBA today. James Harden, 6'5". Yeah. Brad Beal is 6'4". You know what I mean? I mean, all of these top shooting guards, Klay Thompson is about the only shooting guard who's 6'7", and that ideal height. You look at Dwayne Wade, 6'3", if that. And so, I mean, a lot of these guys, that's what you really see is that his height is going to be right up there with other shooting guards, and that's the biggest knock on him.
And then I know right now people are probably going, oh, he can shoot and he's athletic. There's so many guys like that.
Special, yeah.
Here's what makes him special in my eyes. First of all, his slashing ability is amazing, but defense.
Yeah.
He's relentless defender.
Yeah.
And he can guard multiple positions because he's also extremely long.
He can really guard the 1, 2, 3.
But yeah, relentless defender who can shoot threes. I mean, he's one of those guys who's going to be the potential pick. 2 years from now, what's he going to do?
I mean, you look at guys who are selected in that range. The Jordan Clarksons of the world, and you see he might be the next guy.
So I definitely think there's some potential with a late foreign pick. So there you go.
There you go.
All right, there are your sleepers. Look for them. Hope your team gets them. Boom.
Boom.